for our headliner this morning, Kellyanne Conway, counselor to the president. Kellyanne, good morning.
Good morning.
You were listening. We now await the response from Democrats. They are expected to also hold a news conference shortly. Your thoughts at this moment?
Well, the Democratic response is very predictable. You hardly need to cover it. It's always racism, sexism, xenophobia, and it's getting tired. These four people in the so-called squad that have done squat in Congress other than pose on magazine covers and go on late-night comedy shows and cause trouble in their own caucus were under fire a couple short days ago by senior Democrats, elected officials, Greg Meeks, William Lacey Clay, Nancy Pelosi. Even Ayanna Pressley threw a little shade at Nancy Pelosi yesterday in that so-called press conference. It was more like a gaga in front of a bunch of supplicants who never challenge their factual assertions and just cover anything the four of them say without scrutiny and without examination. But Ayanna Pressley said, hey, our squad is more than four people. It's Nancy Pelosi said they're just four people. They only have 4 votes. A glass of water could have won their districts. These 4 women are distinctive for one important reason I want America to know. They are the only 4 Democrats to vote against any form of humanitarian aid at the border when that vote was taken 2 weeks ago. They have no moral authority to ever talk about the border and the kids and the humanitarian crisis there. They're the only 4 Democrats to vote against the Democratic package and the package that got signed into law. I was at the border on Friday. That aid is already making a difference in terms of the conditions down there.
But if they were already under fire by leaders in their own party, why get in the way of that? Because effectively, that's what's happened.
No, I disagree with that assertion respectfully, Bill. What the president is doing is we are tired, sick and tired of many people in this country. Forget these 4. They represent a dark underbelly in this country of people who are not respecting our troops, are not giving them the resources and the respect that they deserve. They voted against the military aid. They voted against pay raises. They voted against the $700 billion, the $716 billion that this president has put forward. They scoff at things like the VA Choice Act, the Whistleblower and the Accountability Act. We're the ones helping veterans and military in this White House. We're tired of people not kneeling for the flag out of disrespect. We're tired of some of these women palling around with terrorists. One of them is in pictures with somebody who was responsible for the murder of 3 Israeli soldiers. Where is the press? Stop falling down on the job. Stop being so afraid of and adoring of 4 people who got here a few short months ago.
Kellyanne, this controversy is consuming Washington. The president has made it very clear where his focus is. It's on the economy, it's on the border, but Washington and the country is talking about this back and forth now with these four freshman congresswomen.
That's what Washington does, Sandra. That's what Washington does. It's too hard to figure out the substance. I'm one of the people working on drug pricing and health care here, a big team at the White House. It's going incredibly well. We are upset that 28 million Americans, 10 years after Obama lied to the country, you can keep your doctor, you can keep your health care, lied to the country, let that lie fly. Everybody talk about adoring and afraid of somebody, and he let that lie fly. 28 million Americans have no health insurance. Medicare for all would bankrupt this country and would have us all waiting in line for care like those veterans were 5 years ago this month, waiting and dying for care in Arizona. That's what we're focused on here.
To be clear, Kellyanne, does the president stand by his tweet? Does he stand by it? Does he regret anything? Does he wish he would have said something differently?
But the president has explained what he meant by those. The president has explained that if you don't like it here, get out. And that, by the way, that goes way beyond these 4 people. That goes to everybody who's tearing down the American flag and putting up the Mexican flag. That goes for everybody like one of those congresswomen who won't denounce Antifa. Just yesterday went out to denounce Antifa. That goes for, and let me just say about this resolution today, this is important. Back in March, there was meant to be a resolution condemning the anti-Semitic comments by Ilhan Omar, and the House couldn't even get that right. On March 7th, the New York Times wrote a story, and it quoted Democrat of Florida, Ted Deutsch, who said the following: "We are having this debate because of the language of one of our colleagues, a Democrat, Ilhan Omar, language that suggests Jews like me who serve in the United States Congress and whose father won a Purple Heart for fighting Nazis in the Battle of the Bulge are not loyal Americans." He gave an emotional, impassioned plea. Why the hell can't we condemn anti-Semitism? Why can't we name Ilhan Omar? They're going to name President Trump today in the resolution. It's politicized and it's sham because they couldn't call out a member of their own who said all about the Benjamins, dual loyalty, some of the most anti-Semitic garbage that we've heard in the House forever.
Just come back to the point for today. We're tight on time. Just want to get through a couple more things quickly. Your husband today penned a piece in the Washington Post. The title, "I Deny That Trump Was a Racist, Not Anymore." I know you've seen it, so you agree with your husband. Yes,
no, I totally disagree, but I've worked with this president. I know him. I know his heart. I know his actions. I know how much he has helped people of color. And I go by what people do, not what other people say about them. And also, respectfully, I'm not going to run around pointing out everybody's disagreements with the people in their lives. I sure could. I can point out people's disagreements with their former spouses, their current spouses and partners, their future spouses and partners. But I won't do that, and I would caution all those, particularly people who are going to ask me to gaggle now not to do that. But I know what this president's done. People are no longer languishing in prison. Fewer people are getting addicted to drugs and are in treatment. He is lifting up in this economy people of all backgrounds, all races, both genders, all geographic and demographic locations. And that's important because I go by what he does. And I've been by his side for over 3 years now. And I know who he is. But we are sick and tired of people denigrating the American flag, the American military, veterans, and America. Since when people are analogizing a red hat to a swastika, is that where we are now? Have at it, everybody, but keep the cameras and the microphones on.
All right,
because America should see who they are.
We're running out of time here, Kellyanne, but you skipped this oversight hearing yesterday. Elijah Cummings, the chairman, says he will hold you in contempt of Congress if you don't honor that subpoena to do so by July 25th. Do you plan to honor that?
This is the latest example of harassment and embarrassment, trying to harass and embarrass people closest to the president. The chairman knows, and everyone knows, that there is a long-standing bipartisan precedent. Both parties have invoked it, that you claim immunity for the president's senior advisors. I obviously qualify as one. This is about me going on TV and stating facts. Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders are old, they are white, they are male, they are career politicians. Joe Biden got elected to the Senate 49 years ago. That qualifies as a career politician. They're trying to silence me and take away my First Amendment rights. I'd be happy to testify. Just so we're clear, I have nothing to hide. I've done nothing wrong.
But so far you were doing.
They couldn't get me through the Office of Special Counsel Bob Mueller, where they put all their eggs in the basket and try to frog march all of us out of here. So they have the poor man's Office of Special Counsel, this $26 million boondoggle that's not independent, that's politicized. Okay. That guy lied under oath, but we'll see what happens to him. I would love to go testify, but I'm taking one for the team here because there's a long-standing tradition to claim immunity and not have people like me testify.
Thank you. We are out of time.
Thank you.
We thank you for your time. We'll speak again soon.